Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Through Black and White Eyes for the review of the Champions League game. We haven't done one of these yet, so I thought we'd fit it in because I've had a bit of time off work, really. So day shifts are great. Night shifts suck. So before we get into it, I'll just run through the usual standard stuff. Welcome to the review of another successful UEFA Champions League game against Athletic Bilbao. Please like, share, subscribe, hype to promote the channel. Hype only works after the show's finished. It's all free. Join from just 99p or donate using the super chat at the bottom right hand corner. All profit is given to charities where we get special guests on by saying we'll offer money to their charity. Please adhere to standard community guidelines. Keep comments respectful and, of course, enjoy the show. Good evening, guys. I hope you're well, pal. I know Leslie's in the background somewhere. Dan, how are we doing? Yeah, you got it right.
Wow.
It's a shame it wasn't a Premier League one.
I tell you what. Wow. I just, we were so concerned with what was the 11, what were we going to put out? Has everybody recovered? And it was a performance. I'll just say that, and a positive one at that. Can I just say good evening, Baz? Good evening, Leslie. Good evening, Gary. Can I just say, in the lead up to the match, I had such a good time looking at all the different online social media reviews, media posts, and everything with the Bilbao fans in the Toon. It was so much fun looking at the special relationship that these two clubs have. There you go. Yep.
So Athletic Club have tweeted, and it's really poor that our Twitter account hasn't responded, to be honest.
Yeah.
Very, very disappointed. But Athletic Club said, good game, war friends, and honour to play at St James's Park again. Best of luck for the rest of the season. And obviously this goes back to 1994, where a fan was over from Bilbao, missed his flight. A family from the northeast put him up, who were Newcastle fans, and made sure he got home safely the next day on a flight. And ever since then, and then we went over to their place, and they literally put on all the beer. I wish I was there for that, but they put on all the beers and everything, so everyone got very, very drunk. I know we got hammered in that game, but the love between the two fans forged that special relationship that we have today. And I know some people say, all these half and half kits are shit and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, I get that, but let's not focus on stuff like that. It's
the flag presentation in front of the Beehive in Big Market yesterday was so lovely to see. I like that, and it's the stuff that here over in the States. It's the stuff that I've been trying to foster for years. It's just, we're all supporters. We support our individual clubs, but the fact of the matter is we're all supporters together. And, 9 times out of 10, what benefits our supporters benefits the other supporters and vice versa. So, for those 90 minutes, you may be on opposite sides of the pitch and you may not be friends, but afterwards, you buy each other a pint and talk about the good and bad stuff. A little bit of friendly banter. I understand, the ferocity with which many fans, support their clubs and everything. I don't understand the vitriol, and I don't understand the tribalistic aspects of supporting your club. I love having a bit of banter with the other fans, and each time we've traveled to go to Monterey Bay matches, Vegas, Orange County, Sacramento, Oakland, we have great relationships with all of those supporters groups, and it's just fun. So I like seeing those kinds of displays.
I like it, unless it's Sunderland.
Fair enough.
I can't agree with you on past that. That's taken it too far down.
I have met 1 or 2 Sunderland fans. I told you the story about our Sam Fender experience here in San Francisco. There was the one lad who was born in Newcastle. Newcastle, is his city, but he married a Geordie lass. He's a Geordie himself, but he says unfortunately his family has historically supported Sunderland, so he's kind of stuck in that regard. So he was wearing a white top and black slacks to the Sam Fender concert and said, "This is as close as I'm going to get to black and white."
Exactly. You just don't do it. But yeah, I mean, some fans take it far too far. Don't get me wrong. I mean, even with Sunderland fans, you know, as much as I hate them, you know, I've got family members who are Sunderland fans. I've got friends who are Sunderland fans. You know, and on the day when that game happens, obviously the friendship and the family goes out the window, and then it comes back once I've settled down and calmed down if we've been beaten, and if I've won, it's the same for them because we ridicule each other. It's that's how it's meant to be. But there you go. It was a great atmosphere.
It was.
Traveller fans. And apparently Traveller fans got a round of applause from the home fans as they left as well, which was nice. They partied alongside each other, which was fantastic. Like I say, you'll never get that with Sunderland. But we are here to celebrate our amazing victory.
Indeed.
We're not going to talk about all the game action and stuff like that because there's a lot of talking points that I want to talk about anyway, to be honest with you. And I think if you try and go through all the action, we'll take a while. My dad was a Mackham. Was is probably the best word in that sentence, to be fair. God rest his soul.
Yeah, indeed.
But yeah. I'm being evil tonight. We've got to talk about this. Obviously, the first goal was absolutely incredible header from Dan Burn. But do you know what it is? You know, the really weird thing is, Dan, we spoke about this.
Yep.
We spoke about the set piece coach. We spoke about not utilizing the back post properly. And then this pops up in the next frigging game again. Is somebody watching us or what?
Martin, are you out there? Mark, are you watching?
Honestly, it was exactly how I pictured it from the Brentford game. I said it's obviously a Trippier delivery from deep. You get the man running around to the back post. He's absolutely free. Now, normally I would say he needs to head that back across goal and keep it into the mix. But how he's put the ball in the net from there, I do not know.
I can't. I have watched it from every angle, and I still can't understand the curve he got on it. I was dumbfounded. And I had the pleasure yesterday. I told you before the match, I have several co-workers who are currently furloughed because of the government shutdown. So, you know, they're sitting at home, they're not working, they're not getting paid. So I invited them out to the pub to watch the game with me, and I'd buy them lunch, you know, so we could catch up.
Nice.
Well, so while I was waiting for the first co-worker to arrive, one of the Monterey Bay players walked in, and it's a player who hasn't been in the squad for half the season. They split. He left the club. So he just walked in and he said, am I in the right place? I said, where are you supposed to be? He was meeting several of his former teammates for lunch. So we got to watch the match with 5 of the Monterey Bay players and 4 of my coworkers. They were watching both our match and the Barcelona match, and I was watching our match, obviously, single-handed. But, you know, to have our starting left back, who is, to be fair, 2 feet shorter than Dan Burn, but to watch his reaction when that ball went in was just, it was glorious. I still cannot understand how I've watched it again. I'm just trying to figure out how his head it had to be
definitely the
ball.
Camera. I think the camera angle puts a lot of the extra bend on it. It did move a little bit, don't get me wrong, but it looks like it bends more because of the camera angle. Because you can't bend the ball that much with a header, but there's obviously the wind and the way the balls these days, how light they are.
And to come the day after Sir David Beckham to bend it like Burn is just, you know, I couldn't be happier for the man. I mean, just watching his reaction, the pounding the crest, the running to the corner of the stand where, you know, he and his family hold season tickets. You know, he grew up in the East Stand, running to that corner. It's the same corner. Remember when he scored his first header against Brighton?
Yes.
In Tara's and my first match back in England, you know, back in 2023. it was a special day. It was fun to see his reaction.
Yeah. And not a Predator headband in sight. Yeah, there we go. So the ball was spinning when it hit his head, so it's obviously spun the other way when it comes off it, and that gives it the curl. But again, the angle does make it look like, I mean, especially the angle from the picture, because it looks like it's going towards a corner flag. It's some of it's an illusion through a lens, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it was a great header. It was fantastic. It was what we needed, because I thought they started pretty well.
Yeah.
I thought they were very good. You know, the really fun fact about Bilbao is they only have players from their region.
Yeah, you have to be Basque descent. Well, it's similar to what over here in Mexico, Chivas de Guadalajara, in Mexico. That team in Mexico City, you have to be Mexican national in order to play for the team. Now, one of the players is a former San Jose Earthquake. His name is Cade Cowell, but one of his relatives is Mexican, so he qualified. Therefore, but they've bent the rules a little bit in previous seasons. But yeah, to have Bilbao be made up of 100% Basque or Basque descent players is an anomaly. I mean, it also, there's part of me that just it just smacks of racism and not elitism, but what is the
leaders of the free world.
Well, it's divisionist. It's no, you can't play for our club because you weren't born in this place. Well, but at the same time, it's kind of unique.
It's very unique.
Especially because it's from that region. They're representing that region. If that's the way they want to do it, then that's the way they do it. But that means they also have a very small pool of players to choose from. So,
but they seem to always find some amazing players. To be fair,
we'll
come to that later on. But
was it one of ours? Was it Helder back in the day who was Basque?
I don't know.
It was the defender that we had on loan that scored a few fantastic headers in his own right. Helder, Helder. I thought he was a Basque. I thought he was Basque as well. Someone in the comments go check my trivia there.
Yeah, could be. But the other great news for Dan Burn is takes over the rat in scoring goals for Newcastle United in the Champions League.
Indeed.
I can't even remember when Isak actually scored in the Champions League, to be honest with you.
Was it against PSG?
Did he get a goal?
I'm trying to remember.
You might have
4 scores in that goal. Almiron was first, then it was Dan Burn.
Was it Isak?
Yeah,
Isak. And then it was Shaw who scored the. No, it was Sean Longstaff and Shaw scored the goals.
You're right. Yeah. So no, it wasn't then.
It's not lucky, Adam. It was 2-0. How can you call a 2-0 result lucky? That can only help the left-hand side wingers as well. True. But yeah, so congratulations, Dan Burn. I mean, Dan Burn got a lot of stick from us as well. To be fair, we were saying, should we be offering him a new contract? Is it not time to move on these older players and all that sort of stuff? But
I said in the preview, I said he needs a rest. I was like,
I thought he needs a rest.
Yeah. Does Trips come in and go play left back and have Chow play right back? I'm not complaining now. I just,
like I say, it was 50-50 for me. It could have happened at any time, couldn't it? But
do you want to talk about the starting 11?
No, everyone knows about the starting 11. I thought it was.
We were in the preview. We were also heavy-handed on Joelinton as well, where we said, it's time for him to bench. So, go ahead.
I'll come to him later because I thought he was excellent. But we're going to talk about this man who started and he's been excellent in the Champions League. But last night, I mean, even before he went off, I mean, some of the criticism he's been getting has been really tough. It's like, he's just faking an injury because he's playing poor. He can't beat his man. I mean, he's quicker than Harvey Barnes, and Harvey Barnes was almost outstripping the right back at times in that second half. So if Anthony Gordon can't beat him for pace, there is something wrong with Anthony Gordon. And obviously he goes down with this hip problem. He looked off it from the start. His passing was loose. It was terrible. I mean, where does Anthony Gordon go from here?
There is something not right with the young lad, and we've seen it all season. Helder, was born in Angola, but appeared okay. All right, thanks, Gary. I know that we've had at least one player somewhere in the past that was Basque, and we made a big deal out of that fact.
Did we?
Yeah. So anyway,
it's terrible.
Oh, you weren't old enough to remember that then, Bass. It was before your time. Back in my day, we had a player from Bass, and he walked uphill both ways in the snow, and he ate dirt and he liked it.
Yeah, you can never trust.
I apologize.
To be fair, that's funny. But
hey, Paul, good to see you.
Let's get back to Anthony Gordon.
I think he's been carrying a long-term injury. I think there's something there that may have finally come to the fore, because we've been saying all season that his performances have not been up to snuff, specifically in the Premier League. But he seems to always come out in the big games. But something has been hampering his known capabilities. Yeah. And maybe we finally got evidence of that last night. Maybe he wasn't even aware. Maybe
maybe the knock made it more apparent. I guess I think it took him to a stage where he had to just give up. But I mean, everyone was scrappy in the first 10-15 minutes, weren't they? I mean, some of his passing was terrible, and it just stayed terrible. That was the problem for me. He hasn't been the same since he suffered. Yeah, with England is when he first got it. So I don't know what he's got to do, but he's
can we get FIFA to cover his wages? Sorry.
I wish. Too soon. I do feel sorry for Anthony Gordon, because there is an elite player in there, and this is where the question above his head is he elite? I think there is an elite player in there, but we're just not seeing it enough, not seeing it consistently. He needs just to take his time with this injury and then come back stronger. That's my personal opinion.
Agreed. And we've got ready-made, we've got replacements in Barnes and Elanga and Murphy. If push comes to shove, we can play Joelinton out there. We can play Joe Willock out there. We can play Lewis Hall up there if we needed to. So we've got options. Yep. Fair play to the lad. Get well.
Yeah, definitely. The other highlight is obviously Lewis Hall being back on the pitch again in the second half. I mean, I love Dan Burn, but Lewis Hall's stint was superb, wasn't it? The way he carried the ball, the way he looked so assured on the ball. I thought he was going to do a Van de Ven at one point. That's what Spurs did when he went through a few players and he got to the halfway line. I thought, go on, keep going, lad, and see if he can beat his goal. But he didn't quite carry it through. But you can tell he's such a clever player, and we've missed him.
And he's going to get, as we know, he's going to continue to get better with more minutes. I mean, because he's just coming back from injury. Even the short stint that we saw him, 45 minutes earlier this season, wasn't it against Arsenal or Liverpool, where we saw him? But I mean, there is a player in there that is just going to be so much fun to watch as he progresses.
The thing that really drives me nuts, though, is online. It's just like before the game, it's like, oh, Lewis Hall should be starting and Dan Burn shouldn't be. It's like, hold on a minute. You can't play Lewis Hall for 60 minutes yet or 90 minutes yet, because he's only just come back from injury. You throw him back into it. He gets injured. We miss him for even longer. And then all these Dan Burn haters will be with us even for the rest of the season and louder, which is just stupid. You've got to ease him back in, which Eddie Howe's doing correctly. And you can see he's almost ready, but I still think Dan Burn starts against Brentford, which we'll talk about tomorrow, and Lewis Hall will stay on the bench. And I think that's the right way to do it, because then you've got the international break for him to have another week and a bit to get ready for the Man City game. And I want 100%. Lewis Hall fit for Man City. So, but it was great to see him, and it was a great. What was it? 30 minutes he played roughly,
something like that. Yeah, and Dan Burn, and it also afforded Dan Burn his deserved standing ovation. I mean, come on, he's from Blythe. He's one of our own. You got to give him those props when he's done well, and he's the first one to take it on the chin when he hasn't done wrong. I mean, when he hasn't performed up to snuff. So to see him get the plaudits yesterday was also fantastic.
He deserved it. And again, I mean, a lot of the idiots are all online because you couldn't hear one person in the stadium not love what Dan Burn was doing. And again, he gets up and down the pitch. He tries his best. Always gives 100%.
The two things that struck me yesterday was, seeing Alan Shearer in his box, and he was gesturing, the curve.
Yeah.
But during the match, obviously we didn't get that footage here, but Les Ferdinand was commenting on the header, and if there's a guy who knows about headers in the black and white stripes, it's Les Ferdinand. So to have him comment on it was great. So he scored 40 with his head for Newcastle.
Yeah.
So
well, that's because you had Ginola and Gillespie crossing the ball too.
And Shearer, to be fair.
Well, yeah, but the second,
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that goal against Man United. It's a good job Eddie's the manager, Les, and actually watches the lads train. Exactly. This is what we forget. We can have our comments and we'll have our say on things and we'll have our perspective. But when it comes to knowing exactly what's going on behind the scenes, nobody knows. No one knows what's going on in training, who's performing, who's not. Yes, Chow did get called up to the Germany squad, which is great for him. Fully deserved. Absolutely fully deserved.
He has been magnificent. What a buy. We can call it the steal of the summer.
Yes,
he was between the two Germans that we got, the tectonic duo that we got, the tectonic twins that we picked up from Stuttgart and Milan.
Yeah, absolutely. And even the commentator on our side of things was saying he watched a lot of Chow back in AC Milan and said he knew there was a player in there. Didn't think he was that good because he was in and out. Obviously, they went through a bit of a weird patch to AC Milan, and he said what he's seeing from Chow now is even better than what he expected. So it just shows you what Eddie Howe's been able to do with him as well.
Malik Chow.
After this weekend, Ball is the next one. So let's move on to these two. So we're going to start with Bruno first of all. I mean, Jesus, Bruno, absolutely, what a menace he is at times. So Eddie Howe was asked in the post-match interview, today was like playing with 10 extra kilos on my back, said Bruno. Eddie Howe, hey, Bruno, told me that you felt $1 million in the morning. And that just shows you, right? I mean, a lot of people said Bruno shouldn't be captain and all this sort of stuff. And I said, well, you want your best player as your captain. And I think Bruno would make a fantastic captain. I'm glad I've been proven right. Because, I mean, he will do anything to be on that pitch. Yep. And he will do anything to win a game. He said himself, we owed the fans after the West Ham. We don't want to feel like we did after that. Newcastle's Bruno Guimaraes says his players need to put on a strong performance after losing. He also said we weren't at our best, but we got the result. And for this club, I will do everything. I started feeling ill the day before we played West Ham. So there was that thing about the bug in the camp that we correctly worked out due to the performance of everyone, really. But isn't that amazing from your captain who he will not stop. He will keep fighting and he will do everything in his power to make sure his team wins. Drives us forward all the time. He
epitomizes what it means to wear the black and white stripes.
Yeah. And there's not many.
Again, how many foreign players, how many South American players have we had who come into the club and get it from jump? From day one, he came into this club and he bought into it. Exactly. He understood his fan base. And he feeds off of it and then turns it back tenfold.
Yeah, Absolutely. And this is absolutely spot on as well. Bruno, after the game, was sniffing quite a bit. Could have easily sat this one out, but massive respect to him for playing. I know he was going to do everything he could to be in that game. He was sniffing all the Vaseline, Vicks Vapor Rub, you name it. He would have had his head in a bowl of hot water, just, trying to clear all those sinuses. The bottle up his nose to squirt it all out, the lot.
The scene in Crocodile Dundee comes to mind.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sorry. Yeah, minus the cocaine.
Oh man, I love it. But yeah, Bruno is he's just unbelievable though, isn't he? He really is. Now let's move on to Joelinton, because I did criticize him. We both said that maybe it was time for him to maybe have a rest because he hasn't been at his best. And again, in the first 15 minutes, I thought, here we go again. Him and Bruno losing the ball quite a bit. But you know what it is? After that pass from Malik Chow, when he threw it over the top to him and he was offside after he put the ball in the back of the net, that reminded me of the Spurs goal. I said that straight away online. I said, wow, that reminded me of how we scored against Spurs, and so unlucky to be offside. And then I thought, we need Shaw in this game, because their back line was so high, and we need those runners from deep, and we need someone who doesn't mind pinging the ball over the top all the time. And Botman and Chow, after that one, stopped doing it. I didn't understand why we didn't do it more often. And I thought, well, if Shaw was on the pitch, we would have done that about 4 or 5 times by now. But the amount of runs he made into the box yesterday was probably the same amount he's done all season.
Yep.
In one game. That was the difference for me.
Yep. I think he was pulled aside and told, look, we know you're capable of doing this. We know what you bring to the side against this team. We're going to need this performance from you. This is what we want you to do. And he focused on that and only that. I think it could have been Graham Jones who pulled him aside and said, listen, mate, we need you running into channels and just keep pinging their box. Just every opportunity you have to get in that box, do it. I also liked when he scored his goal, when he scored the header, Voltemata was also, saying, I'm here, you can ping me. But he was also first one to run up behind J7 and put his arm around him and congratulate him. I mean, just, again, you can see, did you see the grip test video this morning of the lads at the training ground? You can see the togetherness and the close knit family, camaraderie that these guys have. It was just the competition on the grip.
Who won
it? You got to watch it.
Joelinton must have won that.
No, they didn't. They didn't have Bruno or Joelinton featured in it.
Oh, right.
Malik did it first. Then he bettered himself. Then Trippier, Elanga, Anthony Gordon was the worst. I think his was definitely not good enough.
I bet he's got curly hands though, Annie.
Yeah.
Like me, I've got curly hands. Don't get me wrong.
He and Elanga were just funnier than shit. Yeah. Lewis Miley actually did really well as well. But I mean,
big lad.
Yeah. Well, Trippier did well too. He's not a big lad.
He does a lot of that, doesn't he?
Trips, if you're watching, I'm sorry, mate. I didn't do that.
There was apparently someone said the favorite part of the game was when Trippier went to take a corner, the whole corner of that ground started singing. He shouts, "Who he wants?"
Oh no! Oh
he
god!
Shouts, "Who he wants?" He turned around and went, "What the fuck?" to the fans. Ooh, controversial one. But if we have any points in the bag by the time we're at Leverkusen, do we rest most of our big players in that game for Mac? No. You've got to get to 15, 16, 17 points to automatically qualify in the top 8. I don't think we'll have enough points by then. If we've got enough points by PSG, then maybe we might do it. But we need to concentrate on getting into that top 8 because we don't want to go through the qualifying stages if we can avoid it. Pope closely followed by Chow. Yeah, Gordon worst. Trippier was another that's certainly helped squad. Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean Trippier was fantastic yesterday. He was up there with the ratings. He was up there with one of the best.
I was going to say second
pitch.
to Tonali. Yep.
And we missed him against West Ham. We missed his leadership. You could see that last night, what he brings to that back line and his experience. It's the way he marshals it as well. He was absolutely superb. I mean, this man got man of the match and deservedly so. I did actually pick a different player for man of the match because I'm sick of giving it to Tonali because it's just too obvious. He glides through the game, doesn't he? He's just like someone said before. You watch a game of football, you don't see Tonali. You watch Tonali, you see a game of football.
I like that. So, I like that. Yep.
Yeah, Tonali is absolutely different gravy, and he was absolutely superb last night. But I did give. We're going to come on to the man of the match, like who you would give it to, whether it's Tonali or not, or whether you got somebody else in mind. But Tonali was asked a very tough question, which again has opened up the conspiracy theories, and it's got the Mackhams getting involved because they think he's off in the summer and all this sort of stuff. So it was a tough question about Tonali's future. Stating that he decides year for year on what is best for him. Tonali did say that he's playing his best football of his career at Newcastle after a man and match display against Bilbao. Now, I tweeted out straight away. Let's see if I can find it. This is how I summarised it. Tonali last night in a nutshell. I'm loving life in Newcastle. I'm playing my best football in this environment. What does the future hold? Who knows? You can spin this however you like. However, to me, this is an honest answer from a top player who's not looking too far ahead.
And quite frankly, if we spent, 58 million on him?
I think it was just 50, 55, wasn't
it? Well, so, I mean, but he is saying he's taking it day by day. He's taking it season by season, and fair play to the lad. He has signed a contract extension. He has shown... He has returned the loyalty given him during his ban with adding another season to his contract. He intends to. I mean, his intention is to see that out. But at the same time, he's also a realist. If Real Madrid comes in and wants to spend 200 million on him, and he knows that that's going to be good for him and his family, and that's going to be good for our club ultimately in a PSR world, he's not going to turn that down.
No, exactly. Well, the one thing I will say about Tonali is he's not a Geordie, remember. He's not a Newcastle fan. He's an AC Milan boy and an AC Milan fan. If there's a chance for him to go back to his home club, like if we were playing somewhere else and Newcastle came in for us, we would be like, I want to go home.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I am never, ever going to be disgruntled if Tonali wants to leave Newcastle in the future. He's 25 now. He's coming into his peak years. As long as we have him for another 2 years, fantastic stuff. But then if Barcelona and Real Madrid come knocking, it could be he wants a different challenge, and we have to accept that as a fan base sometimes. But he's
played in Serie A. He's played in the Prem. He could be looking for La Liga. He could be looking for the Bundesliga. He wants to experience it all while his career is in full flight. And as we've talked about many times, footballers' careers are short.
Yeah.
If they get to 10 years, they're lucky.
Yeah.
If they get to 15 years, they're lucky. Only those rare ones are the ones that get a 20-year career.
Yeah.
And that's because they're on top of everything in their lives, fitness and everything. So
yeah, exactly. But the other thing with Tonali is, if we're not pushing for silverware and we're not in the Champions League, we're talking about he's in the conversation for one of the best players in the Premier League in midfield. He's going to want to be challenging for those top honours. And
absolutely,
we can't begrudge him for that. If we can't shrug this PSR matter out of the way, if we can't build a squad that's capable of competing on all four fronts, he'll be bought by a team that can compete on all four fronts. And it's just one of those things. I just don't want him to go to another Premier League club.
Agreed. 100%. Specifically one that wears red.
Yeah, exactly. Tonali would do what's best for both Newcastle and Tonali. Exactly. I wish him the best if when he chooses to move on, he won't do any. I don't think he'll kick up a fuss. I think
I don't either.
Hey, Robbie, hope you're well, mate.
Hey, Robbie.
Completely agree. Even Robbie and Robbie. we will need to start winning games in the Premier League ASAP to get back to it. Yeah, exactly. We need to be in Champions League to be able to attract better players as well as keeping the great players that we've already got. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be like them, but if Isak comes back, he's going to get a crap reception because of how we did it. Tonight's contract, I'm not too sure.
I thought it was until 2029.
Yeah, something like that. It wasn't not 2030 because we're going to offer him more money for him to get another year out of him or something like that. I think. I'm not 100% sure.
He signed it last year while he was banned.
Yeah.
So, and I suspect that they will offer him yet another.
There it is, 2029 with additional year. If it is. So, I mean, he is tied down for a while, so there'll have to be a release clause. There would have to be a big fee. You know, I'm not worried about him leaving, and we'll just, like Paul says, we'll deal with it there and then when it happens. So there's no point in worrying about something that he's not even thinking about right now.
Right.
Right. Quickly,
he's just being honest.
Yeah, exactly. He is. Diacro, amazing sponsors. Baz 20 for 20% off. Link is in the description. Go and check out all their stuff. To do loads of things. Lovely little run company in America.
Thanks, Joe.
From
Joe Spinney.
Amazing stuff. You've got the award-winning multi-award-winning Sparky at the Joelinton Experience Limited. Link is in the description for them as well. They do amazing tours around the Northeast, all about our history, and he also does stuff for Newcastle itself as well.
Do not give him a Red Bull.
No, definitely not. And I finally put the slides together for
fantastic
Prince Charming. Great little company in Wallsend. That's their Facebook page. It's in the link in the description. They do frame shirts. They can frame a shirt for you. They can do key cutting. They can do prints, like massive advertising boardings for you as well. They've got so many memorabilia stuff around the shop. They've got movies, Newcastle, other fans, music stuff as well. Check them out. Some of the stuff is absolutely fantastic. It's a weird name, Prince Charming. I get how they're playing on the name, but it doesn't scream Newcastle United memorabilia with that name. So it's very hard to put it out there.
Wallsend is the giveaway there.
Yeah, exactly. So it's in Wallsend. So go and check them out. Great little shop. Loads of stuff in there.
Say it again.
Wallsend.
Chocolate shortbread. That's what I'll say.
I don't mean him come back. He won't ever be welcome back. I meant how nasty they have been to Trent. No, I absolutely agree. What I'm saying to you is that we would be that nasty to Isak, because of the way he left, the way he did it, he's going to get an absolute shocking reception when he comes back. And the Liverpool fans are all saying, well, I hope Sky cover it like they've covered the Trent thing and all this sort of stuff. So there you go. Our new DOF should find us a new young Toon Army for the next 2 years. They will. If Toon Army goes, they'll sign Anderson back. With Toon Army, eventually you want a player like that to leave, hopefully for him, back to AC. Then he can tell all the up-and-coming Italian youngsters what a great club Newcastle is. Exactly. There's that as well, isn't there? And
I don't know of a single player who has ever left Newcastle.
And not had a bad thing to say about them. Yeah.
Well, you saw there was an interview just in the past week that when Kevin Nolan came home and told his wife that he had just signed for West Ham, they had a right argument about it. He was just like, "We like it here. We don't want to go."
There you go. See, no one wants to leave Newcastle, apart from Kieran Dyer, apparently.
Well, less said about that, the better.
I was a bit shocked to read that, but what I love about it is that apparently if you kicked up a fuss, and Fergie put the phone down on him. Absolutely brilliant. Michael Owen, of course, he was just a different gravy wanker, wasn't he? He was
never wanted to be here to begin with.
Well, exactly. You had something in his contract that you could go to Liverpool if it materialised. So, the less said about him, the better. Great header, by the way, from Joelinton. Personally, I give Joelinton man of the match because I'm bored of giving it to Tonali because Tonali's just too good. He gets it all the time anyway. It was a great little clip ball in as well and a great header from Joelinton. He should have scored previously when he was one-on-one with the keeper, and then he handballed it and skied it over the bar. But I give him it because he was everywhere. Yeah. He was absolutely everywhere last night. He was back to the Joelinton we know and love. Back to he's only 40 million. We think. But yeah, just the amount of runs he made into the box, and like you said, Voltamaro was right behind him, ready to put it in himself. But isn't it nice to see 2 free players in the box, not just Voltamaro in the box? And that was the difference for me. So Joelinton was my other man of the match. Tonali was obviously man of the match, but my other man of the match was Joelinton.
I was going to say Trips. But
yeah, Trips,
fair enough.
So good as well. No, they told us if you think Trips is that's absolutely fine.
Well, Trips we saw with him what we were missing with West Ham. Hey,
Edison. Now I've heard the Real Madrid player. It could be the next one.
Hendrick.
No, he's a forward. There's a Real Madrid midfielder. I'll mention it tomorrow. I've got it's one for tomorrow, I think. His dad, Terry Owen, played for Chester, not Newcastle, out of the League Cup quarter-final in 74. Good knowledge, Gary. Oh, you were there. There you are. Another reason to dislike him. Exactly. So, yeah. But the other thing what really stood out for me in the performance yesterday was our second half performance was a lot more polished.
Yep.
The first half was, we were lucky to be ahead. They hit the post with a rocket of a shot. And then in the second half, we seemed to control the ball better. We seemed to make more chances. There was more crosses into the box. We seemed to have woke up and went, hold on a minute, these guys are missing 9 players. We need to dominate them. And we started to do that. We really put the pressure on them. And I thought Eddie Howe, again, very good use of the substitutions.
Yep.
He gets a lot of stick for that, but I thought he was excellent yesterday.
I think we put in a terrific performance given how shocking we were against West Ham, but at the same time, it was tempered with the guys that were out on the pitch are still recovering from whatever this mystery illness is that has been bugging everybody, So they weren't up to their best either, but they were put in a shift, and a much improved shift over that we displayed in London Stadium. So fair play to them all. Just happy to see the improvements. Yeah,
absolutely. Like I say, it wasn't a polished performance. It wasn't, we went out there and going to beat them 4-5-0 or anything like that. To beat them 2-0, keep a clean sheet. Nick Pope again, he shut us up a little bit, didn't he? I thought he was fantastic.
We were questioning that. We were wondering if it was time for Ramsdale to come in. So
I think what we got to remember as well, the amount of clean sheets we've kept this season, it's not just because we've got an excellent defense. It's because Nick Pope has also been very, very good in goal as well. He's kept us in some games. Kept us in the Leeds game. He kept us in the Villa game. So I was actually quite impressed. Now, the reason why Dan Burns should stop getting a lot of stick as well is because of this. He's in the Champions League, and so is Nick Pope as well. The 2 players we were all like,
Bollocking, yep.
Boom. All in the team of the week.
Wow.
Which is some statement, isn't it?
Yeah. It also hurts to see Mikel Merino in there. I just, that one still rankles me to this day. The way he left, and then now he's back at Arsenal, so back in the Prem. But anyway, no, agreed. I to see any of our lads in a team of the week in the Champions League is one thing, but to see the ones that we were so critical of earlier in the week because of performances elsewhere in the Prem, just to see them bounce back with this kind of a performance is testament to their tenacity, and also, again, back to Eddie Howe and his man management skills and the capabilities that he continues to show, saying, look, guys, we had a bad one. Let's put it behind us. Let's move on. And sure enough, we got it.
Loved it. I love it. I love seeing our players in teams of the week, especially when it's players that are out of form then come back into form. It just shows you class is permanent.
Yep. 100%.
Careful what we wish for sometimes. Right, this is the league table, how it stands. I don't see a Mackham in sight. Had to put that in there, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I mean, we didn't even deserve to lose to Barcelona either, but yet we still did, and we've still got 9 points, 3 wins, 3 in a row, 1 loss, 8 plus goal difference.
5 places above Barcelona. I mean,
there's only 2 points there. It's so tight, but isn't it great looking at that thinking, Jesus Christ, we're in 6th spot? I mean, who would have thought that at the start of this campaign that would be 9 points at this stage?
The funny thing that I take away from this is if you look at that top 14, you can see every other team is an English team, is a Prem team. Look at it. 2,
yeah, it's crazy.
6, 8, 10, 12. That was the first thing I noticed when I saw it last night. It was just like, well, the second thing, because seeing Newcastle in 6th was just, get in. But to see Arsenal in 2nd, then Man City in 4th, then Newcastle in 6th, then Liverpool in 8th, that kind of thing. We're showing well.
We could somehow, if it could happen, we could have an all quarterfinal, English quarterfinal, isn't it? An English semi-final or something stupid like that. It could actually happen. According to the Mackems, they've won we've got UEFA Champions League October trophy. A lot of the Mackems were saying we would have this many points at this stage. You played nobody yet. Obviously, getting back at us for saying that they played nobody, even though they beat Chelsea. Don't know how they managed to do that.
It was a good game. We watched it at the pub.
It hurt. I don't want to talk about it. But the big question I asked on Twitter, and it's 50-50. Can we stay in the top 8?
Right.
With the fixtures we've got left. What's your thoughts on that?
Again, when the draw came out, we were chuffed with the group that we were in. We said there's some winnable matches in there. There's some potential banana skins in there, but there's, we were impressed or hopeful with what we've got. That we've played some of the big uns so far, and I think we've held our own. We've got some tough games to come. We have to go to Leverkusen, and I remember the last time we played at Leverkusen because I was there. It's not a walk in the park. It's a stadium that the fans are right there on top of you as well. So I think we're going to continue to do well. I think
Marseille away, remember as well. That's not going to be an easy game.
That's not going to be an easy one, specifically for the fans.
PSG away. Yeah,
PSG away, Leverkusen away, Marseille away.
What do we have at home?
And PSV at home, yeah. And PSV is not having a great season.
No, they're not. No, but didn't they win yesterday? I think they won 1-0.
Yeah, but you look at the greater. The
great table. They're nowhere near it. And I know Marseille got beat off Atalanta 1-0.
Yep. So I think we'll continue to go strength to strength. If we can continue to do performances like we did yesterday and just grind them out. And we're always going to have, I said we're always going to have the advantage, especially at home. Unfortunately, it didn't work against Barcelona, but we played well that match. We didn't deserve to lose, but we did. We're going to win, hopefully. There you go. You can always count on Blade for the optimism. So
looking at the table to finish in the top 8, I think you're going to need 15 points. Someone said to me you need 16, 17 this year because apparently there's 1 point better off and 1 point less at the bottom. But for me, there's still a lot more teams to drop points potentially. And we could be one of those teams. So I think 15 points. And I'm thinking about the fixtures that we've got left. Can we get another 6 points? It's possible. But where are we getting them from?
We just have to be on top of our game. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Marseille away is going to be difficult. Like we said, PSG away, Leverkusen away. They're not having a great time in the competition. So, we've just got to keep taking this confidence into those games and see if we can grind out maybe 2 wins somehow in a draw. And that'll get us qualified in the top 8.
And we have more players to come back from injury. We can continue to remind everybody we've got Tino to come back. We've got Wissa to come back. We've got Gordon to come back now. We've got players in the stable that are going to be performers for us. They just can't perform at this very moment. So, we've got, like I said, if we continue to hammer out results like we have been, I think we'll be in with a shout.
Yeah. One of the great things that we have done so far is we've won almost all our home games, apart from the Barcelona game. We've won the games that we should win, and we've got a great result away. I know it's against the Belgium team, and it's the weakest team of the away ones, but you've still got to go there and give them respect.
Well, go back and look at that table. Where is the one that starts with a Q? They're in the top 24. Yeah,
Karabag. Yeah, they got a draw. Yes, with Chelsea, did they 2-2?
And Bruges.
Drawn
they
with
were
Barcelona 3-3.
Lots of talk yesterday on talk radio here about were they possibly robbed? Yep. So there's lots more to come. We've got to concentrate. We have to keep up our level in the Champions League, but we have got to concentrate on putting points on the board in the Prem.
Yeah, you were right. Isak did score against PSG. It was away though.
Yep.
It was the away game. That was when.
Thanks, Benny.
When Benny doesn't know that. I've just worked it out in my head. It was
the Mbappe. Penalty.
It was the Almiron shot, and it was parried, and Isak followed it in.
Yep.
I remember it now. I also think we get fifth. As long as we're top 8, I don't care.
Yeah.
Mogul, we have met new to spend in Jan. We've got money to spend in January. Just do we want to spend it in January? That's a different conversation for a different.
Well, the question is where. If Lewis Hall is going to be back in top form, do we need to spend money on the left back?
I still think we do for cover.
You and I both agree on that. I also strongly contend that we still need another forward. With Vissa's long-term injury this season, and the possibility that it could come back to bite us. Voltemata is a young man, but if we continue to run him into the ground, he's going to get injured at some point. I agree, Gary. I think we need a striker, at least somebody that we can bring in. If we could bring in, if we could bring somebody at the level of like a Jose Perez when we signed him, $2.5 million and a diamond in the rough. I think we thought we have that in Asula. It's possible we bring in somebody that's a little bit more upswing, a little bit more growth potential, that kind of thing. At the same time, let's not count out the other young players. Sean Neve has deserved a chance or two in other games. Maybe we've got the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup now.
There's not many. There's maybe the FA Cup in January potentially when we're in the third round, depending on who we draw.
Yeah,
I'm always wary about the gulfing difference between the under-21 competition to the Premier League. The standard is so much better, and all these people say, "Oh, he's flying, he's doing this." Yeah, he scored a hat-trick against Gateshead. They're in the National League. They're nowhere near the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? You've just got to be careful sometimes what you wish for. At the
same time, if they don't get the chance, Baz, then we're in a position where you get your Elliot Andersons. Where
Elliot Anderson got chances. He was in the squad. Do you know what I mean? He was playing games. He was starting to look like a good player. It's just I can't see Sean Neve being Premier League good enough at the moment.
Fair enough.
That's just one of the. That's the player, Camavinga. Yeah, he's the Real Madrid player that we're looking at. He's a central midfielder, and apparently he's meant to be really good. But
if he goes, is the likes of a Joe Willock on his way out? Then so it begs questions.
Yeah, exactly. Right, that final thought. This is really funny, this one. I put it all over Facebook. To sum up our season in a picture so far.
Oh my goodness.
Words are not needed.
Oh my goodness.
That is pretty much summing up our season in one picture so far.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
So there you go. That's my final thoughts. But I enjoyed yesterday. It was quite relaxing yesterday watching the game. I don't know why. I just felt like we were going to win, and I wasn't bothered about smashing them. I just knew.
Is it the pre-match atmosphere, the look around, seeing the war flags display, seeing everybody in the crowd amped up and ready to go? Is it just that breeds confidence and says, we've got this. We can make this work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just happy.
Under the lights, midweek games, they're always special, aren't they? Regardless. It doesn't matter who you're playing and what competition you're playing in. It's just a special ground to be in.
Agreed.
Final question, because obviously I forgot all about this. But again, what do you think of the music and how it played out?
So I've watched a couple of. Again, I've been a supporter for over 3 decades now. But I don't get to go to matches day in, day out, and unfortunately, our coverage here doesn't ever include the build-up music. I have been fortunate over the last 2-3 years to see many matches at St. James's Park, and I'm always ecstatic when I hear Local Hero. I'm always ecstatic when I hear Blade and Races. Again, yes, the tradition is to walk out to Local Hero. At the same time, if the coaching staff and the players have specifically asked and said, we would like to see a swap so that we hear Blade and Races when we walk out and hear everybody singing it, who am I to argue? It's the guys that are going to be performing out there that want to be geared up for it. So, if they want to hear Blade and Races and it's going to give them that extra, spring in their step, that extra 10 yards of pace or whatever, fair play, let's do it.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of people have got to think about nostalgia and think about what the players in the club are asking for. They're asking for something that's going to help them perform better, and if you're against that just because it's a song at the wrong time, I think you've got to take a little step back and just think what's more important. 3 points, winning the game of football.
The only thing I can see at this point that drives it home is seeing, Joelinton and Bruno and Tonali singing Blade and Races in a social media post. If that's what drives them, or one of our victory pictures in the dressing room and everybody in that room singing Blade and Races. Well, I think if that's what we need to show the camaraderie and the desire from those guys, and they're saying this is what gets us, going, then I'm not arguing with them. Give me 3 points.
Exactly.
Give me 3 points. Live up to. There you go, Blade. I was going to say, if that's what helps us meet Blade's score predictions, then by God, let's give it to him. So, yep.
Great response. I love it.
Always
and this
a pleasure.
Is to all the Eddie Howe out fan brigade. They're still out there. Just
do the letters FO mean anything to you?
I love it. Right, we'll be back again tomorrow night. We'll be discussing the game on Sunday, isn't it? Yeah, Sunday, because we played on Wednesday. What about something upbeat? Fog on the Tide? Everyone bring a fishing rod to the ground.
I've that's like the 5th or 6th time that I've heard that reference. I have not heard that. Is there somewhere I can go find that?
Yeah, YouTube. Just Google it. He released it as a song.
I'll go
Fog
listen
on
to
the
it.
time is mine, oh mine.
It
Is all mine.
It came. The Lindisfarne one came on my my Apple Music the other day in the car. I just had it on random, and I just of course all you do is smile. I love hearing that. But yeah, okay, I'll go Google it. Go look for it.
Fog on the time.
Thanks everybody in the comments. Good to see you, Leslie. Thank you, Jules, Blade, Gary, Paul.
Amazing as always. Join us again at 8:15 tomorrow night. We're talking about. I tried to get a Brentford fan on, but I couldn't get one, unfortunately. But we'll be hopefully Gaz will turn up as well. I've not heard from him yet.
They're bee stung. That's why.
Love it. So yeah, so we will be discussing the game, and then on Sunday we'll do the review as well, and then we'll have to start thinking about next week.
Yep.
I'll start thinking about that tomorrow. But good night, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!